Well, I wanted to do a recap of day 3. Started off my morning pretty well, coming off of day 2, which went extremely awesome. We made it into the top 100, and every top 100 guys got one of these catch boards. I placed 12th in the top 100, which was really good. So I had a really good feeling about the day. But other people will tell you that Lake Gunnersville humbles the best of people, and it humbled me that day on day 3. Started out my morning with very high hopes, like I said. Got out there and I made the mistake of using the same bait on day 3 that I caught all my fish on day 2 on, knowing full well I was in a completely different area, because Mr. Gene Jensen suggested we all stay off the main lake on Friday, which was day 3, because of bad weather. When somebody that fishes that lake that often tells you to stay off the main lake because of bad weather, you tend to listen. So I chose to go up to Mud Creek, which is off the main lake, should have been protected by wind, all that good stuff. I know there's big fish there, but during practice I didn't get bit once at Mud Creek. So I caught my first fish on the Bass Ackwoods chatterbait, that particular one right there. Worked out very well. Took me a while to get the first bite, but we got it. We put it in the boat. I think it was a 15-inch fish. A little while later, we got one on a frog. So I knew the frog bite was going to be on. I had already been blown up on a couple times on the frog, but the fish had just completely missed the frog. This particular one grabbed it. I think it was a 14. So now we have 2 fish on the board with 29 inches. 4 hours goes by. I don't get another bite. I try everything. I try all different areas. I'm seeing fish blow up. Just can't get them to connect with anything. Now this whole time I know that my mother has been diagnosed with some tumors in a very bad place. And I had already made the decision, I think on halfway through day 2, that on Friday I was just going to get my limit and I was going to start heading north so I could come back and make sure I was close to Mom. But with all that being said, I get this 29-inch limit now and I'm 4 hours into the day. I'm ready to give up. So I decided to flip one more grass mat with this particular bait, which is the Crush City Craw, 3/4 ounce weight, on my flipping stick, which is a nice heavy stout rod. I ended up pulling out a 15 1/4, I think, out of that grass mat, which gave me some pretty high hopes. So now I know that I've gotten blown up on twice on this particular lily pad patch that's just enormous. So I go back there. Now unfortunately my GoPro decided to quit on my way back to this lily pad patch, or I would have had footage of what happened next. I pull up, this lily pad patch comes out to a point, and at this point it's got some really green grass. I pull up over there and I start fishing, throwing my frog, this particular one right here, with this little tiny frog. So It gets blown up on twice. Neither fish connect with it. And I'm really frustrated, so I stop, take a breath, throw the frog back out there, and I connect with an 18 3/4. So now we got real high hopes. I put that fish on the board, and as I'm taking my pictures, I hear something blow up about 30 yards off to my left, and this is huge. Sounded like a striper hitting bait. So I finish up with my pictures, pull my anchor up, I don't stop my motor, and I start heading over real quiet the way that fish blew up. As I'm heading over there, my wife calls me. I always have good luck when my wife is on the phone. So I answer the phone. I put her in this pocket right here so I can talk to her while I'm fishing. And throw my frog out. This fish comes out of the water on my frog, and I swear her mouth is this big. Just an enormous bass. Completely misses my frog. Goes right over the top of it. I never felt the fish. I reel in, pay attention to where the fish is. When she went back in the water, she went across probably 15 feet to my right. And the reason I know this is because she kept hitting or disturbing the stalks of the lily pads, and I could see them vibrate. And where I seen the vibrations stop, I figured that's where she was. So I tell my wife to just be quiet. I'm gonna hunt this fish. I throw it out over there, and she whacks at it again and misses it again. This time I didn't see her, she just boiled on the top of the water and totally missed. This is where I made my mistake. My first fish that I caught at Gunnersville, I followed the frog up with a wacky rig, which was fine because I was in sparse grass at the time. Well, I reached back and I grabbed this rod to follow up my frog in those giant lily pads, which there's two problems with that. This rod has all this flex to it. It's got tons of flex, and it's got this little tiny hook. So of course I throw it in there, and you couldn't have even counted to 2.5, maybe 3, and that line just started running. I knew she had grabbed it, and when I sat down on that hook, this rod just folded, and she come flying out of the top of that water. When I tell you this was the biggest bass I've ever had on my line, I ain't even close to kidding. Had to have been a double digit. Had to have been. She goes back down into the water, and I see these 3 lily pads go shoop. She had wrapped right around the stalks of these giant lily pads and sucked them together as I'm trying to fight her. And I could feel her shaking her head. And then nothing. I don't feel her anymore. And I'm yelling at my wife, I got her. And then when I felt nothing, I pray to God she was still there. She was gone. She was absolutely gone. That was the biggest kick in the chest. I sat down, put my head down, gave a big grunt, told my wife I had to go. And I said, what separates an angler from a fisherman? We keep going. We brush it off, and we keep going. We learn from what just happened. What did I learn? In structure like that, you never grab that wimpy rod. You grab, if I would have done this, we probably would have landed that fish. Grab my punching stick, take the weight off of it, and just throw a weightless Texas rig in there. Now I got a beefy enough hook and a beefy enough rod to be able to pull that fish out. But that was what humbled me on day 3. I ended up fishing for another hour and a half, longer than I had planned on, and I didn't get one more fish. So knowing that I had such a long ride to come up here, I finished up the day a little early with my 4 fish, and I think I ranked 40th for the day. It wasn't what I wanted. Did I learn something? Yes. Did I enjoy myself? 100%. Did I give my best effort? 100%. Do I regret anything? No. Not at all. And yes, I will be back to Guntersville. Guntersville is my absolute favorite lake in the country. We'll definitely go back. That's day 3. It's definitely a humbling place. There's not really much more I can say about it or try to dwell on it. Just next time, grab a beefier rod when you're in that bigger structure. Those lily pads with the size of your steering wheel. Her mouth was half the size of your steering wheel. The biggest fish I ever had on my line, and I lost it. It was devastating. But I continued to fish. Just didn't pan out the way we wanted it. Well, there's your recap for day 3. Thanks.